Now, your setup is going to take a lot longer, but I just want to kind of give you the next steps. You want to set up customers, vendors, and your items. Your items are things that you buy or sell. So let's go ahead and do some items first. Now, I want you to look at my screen right now. So notice how up here it says enter bills and pay bills, but there's not a place for me to receive the inventory. If you're going to manage inventory, or I should say, if you want QuickBooks to manage your inventory for you, you have to turn that on. And that's going to be another one of those options or the preferences. So let's do that. Click on, notice how there's nothing above enter bills, right? We can see that. So I'll click on edit and then preferences. I'm going to pick on items and inventory. So now I'll pick on there were company preferences and I'm going to click where it says inventory and purchase orders are active. So this is going to turn the inventory management system of QuickBooks on. I picked on edit and then preferences. I picked on items and inventory, company preferences, and then just click on this one over here. It says it has to close the windows, which is fine. And it did close the windows. Now I like to have the home window open, so I'll pick on the word home over here on the left, and now that's back again. Notice now there's something above enter bills. This is all part of the accounts payable cycle, which we'll get to in a few minutes. Now I can make purchase orders and receive the inventory. So I had to turn that on. And now let's go ahead and add a couple items. So I'll pick on the list menu. You see where I am? I'll pick on list, and then it says the item list. Your items are anything that you're going to buy or sell. So these kind of screens all work the same way. I can just right click over here and add another new one. The company is called Intuit, and I think once you really start to look at things, it is fairly intuitive to use. So now let's add a service first. So let's say within my company, you could give them an item number if you have that, but that is optional. So I want to give it a name. So I'll call that, let's say I do a webinar, right? And the rate is what's going to show up on my invoices when I sell that product. So let's say just I'm going to make it $500 here. However, when that comes up on the invoice, it'll say 500, but I can change it on the invoice. So it's just kind of a base price there. Now, it's not going to let me leave the screen. Watch, I'm going to try to leave the screen with OK until I associate that with one of those accounts. So it's going to be associated with an income account, like software sales will be fine here. Okay. So that's where the chart of account starts coming in. So when I sell the webinars on the invoices, it's going to update the sales income account. Good. And now that product will be in my products list. That was a service. This time I'm going to set up an inventory item. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on this again, and I'll pick on new. This time let's do an inventory part. Now the inventory part would not be there unless I did that other step a couple minutes ago. Good. So let's say I sell keyboards, right? So you can give it a manufacturer part number and so on. The cost is what I can buy it for from my vendor, and the price is what I can sell it for. So let's just say I can buy the keyboards for $4 from my vendor. Now, when I buy it, it's going to go against cost of goods sold. But when I sell it, I bet I can sell those for $9. When I sell it, it's going to go against maybe sales hardware, okay, another income account. See how everything has to be associated with one of those chart of accounts. Now, let's say I have 50 keyboards in stock. So where it says on hand, I'll type in 50 there. Now, the total value of the asset will be the quantity on hand times the cost. So it should be 50 times 4. So I'm thinking the total value is going to be 200, and that's exactly what happened. The total value of the inventory asset, you can see the inventory asset is one of those GL accounts. When I say GL, it's the general ledger. So then it's the on-hand times the cost, not the price. There's a subtle difference there, right? $200 is the value of the inventory asset. So I'm going to click on OK. Now there's other windows that you can go into for additional information. So you can see setting up your products is not hard. None of these screens are really particularly hard. Now, I do want to show you something. Uh, QuickBooks works very well with QuickBooks works very well with Excel. So on this window, if I come down here and pick on where it says Excel, I can import from Excel or I can export it to Excel. All right, so there's a few things we can import or export from Excel. There's the chart of accounts can be imported from Excel, these items, vendors, customers, and employees. Those five things can be imported from Excel, and everything can be exported from here into Excel. But the chart of accounts, these items, your customers and your products, your customers, your vendors, and your employees can be imported from Excel as well. So when you're on that screen, look for the word Excel down here, and it says import, and it'll guide you along from there. Let's do a couple customers now. So I'll pick on the customers menu, right? And then we'll just go to the customer center. And you're going to see it's a very, very similar screen, except now it's going to be the list of the customers. This is still the new company. So I'm going to right click over here and we'll do a new customer. So I'm going to use John Smith. It's a common name, just as an example, okay? And you fill in whatever you have, and there's other information over here. So the only thing you really have to fill in is the customer name and the company name, and you can go to these different tabs. You fill in what you have. As you use QuickBooks more and more, actually it'll fill in a lot of these fields for you. So, but we can leave everything blank for right now. You don't need to watch me do data entry here, but now we have John Smith there. What's really powerful about this screen, this is called the Customer Center, is that if I picked on John Smith, you would see all of their activity right over here. You would all see their history and all their invoices and everything like that when we start to get some going on. So I'm going to close that window. Obviously, I could just add more customers. Now, those can be imported from Excel as well. This time the buttons are up top, but I see Excel, and you can see I can import from Excel. So you can check out those screens if you feel you already have a list of information. Let's add some vendors. Now, a vendor is anybody that you cut a check to. Maybe your power company, or maybe Walmart would be a vendor. So let's add a couple vendors in, and then we can actually start the accounts payable cycle and the accounts receivable cycle. So in this case, same kind of screen, right? I'm just going to right click over here and we'll add a new vendor. Right click and I'll do excuse me. Let's try that again. I'm going to right click on this list and I'll do a new vendor. So one vendor might be like the power company. So in this case, let's say it's New Jersey Power, whatever it's going to be. All right. And then again, you fill in whatever you have. None of these fields are really required. Now, sometimes you want to make a vendor into a 1099 vendor, and QuickBooks can produce your 1099s for you. So I'm going to pick on tax settings, and then you would say vendor is eligible for 1099. And then actually under the vendors menu up top, you can actually have QuickBooks generate your 1099s, but you have to mark that vendor as a 1099 vendor right there under the tax settings. So that's a possibility for us. So I have New Jersey Power as a vendor. Let's add another vendor. Let's say new vendor, another new vendor here. And let's say we're going to add Home Depot into there. And again, you fill in whatever information that you have. Nothing is required. And as you use QuickBooks more and more, you'll start to fill in this information. It'll keep track of all that for you. So I'll click on OK. So very quickly, under the List menu, that's where I can get to my item list. That's all your products and services. Under the Customers menu, I have the Customer Center. And under the Vendors menu, I have the Vendor Center. So you want to take some time and set those things up as well. And remember, all three of those things can be imported from Excel to save you a lot of time.